Welcome everyone to our first Mindset Monday. I'm Diandra. I'm the founder of Cancer-Free Haven, and I'm here with my co-host Alison, and she is the wonderful visionary behind OneLife School. So today we are actually celebrating our first year of business besties. So we don't have the exact date nailed down, but it's somewhere around January. So what better way than to celebrate by kicking off this inspiring series in January? And so today our discussion is about the accountability advantage. Wonderful title that Alison came up with. So thank you, Alison. And we're just going to go a little bit back and forth here. So I'll talk a little bit about my path and then Alison will go into hers. So for mine, accountability has been really instrumental in my cancer journey. I was diagnosed with breast cancer almost 2 years ago now. And I found an incredible support system online. I found my first Breastie. And so if you're not inside the breast cancer community, you'll be like, what is a Breastie? So a Breastie is just a fun term for your best friend who is in the trenches of cancer with you. And so specifically Breasties are for breast cancer, although I'm sure you could come up with a fun name for whatever type of cancer you're going through. But I shared this similar experience with a friend that I found online, and we cheered each other on. We found joy in the small things and celebrated our victories, no matter how small. And so this connection was really important to me, especially as I was going through some of those harsh treatments. So after surgery and radiation, just being able to have someone who's, I know this sucks, but we're going to get through it together, really made all the difference. And so it's those experiences that I had with my first Breastie, with some of the rest of the cancer community, that actually inspired me to create my upcoming course, which I'll be launching in February of this year. It's called Thrive from the Start, and it's aimed at empowering breast cancer survivors in their first year after diagnosis. And in this course, I'll actually be giving survivors a chance to be paired up with their own Breastie.
Amazing. I love that. I love that story. And I love that you call them Breasties. It's amazing to hear that. And I think in my work as a mindset and accountability coach, I work with businesses, and I've seen firsthand how the power of accountability can just be so transformative. When you have someone there who is supporting you, who's pushing you, who's challenging you, who's providing you structure as well, it can really make your business goals feel so much easier to achieve. You achieve them much quicker, more simpler. And I also think it's a lot more fun as well, because as you say, like you share that journey with someone else. Often when we're embarking on a personal challenge, a health challenge, or embarking on a business, it can feel very alone and very isolating, and having that support is so important. And the amazing thing for me as a mindset and accountability coach is that I support my clients to do things that they actually want to do. Like, I'm not making them do things they don't want to do. They want to build a business, but there's something that gets in the way. And this is true for everyone. At some point, you hit a block that either stops you from taking action, or it makes taking action so much harder to do. You should be doing a certain thing, you want to do that certain thing, but it's so much more harder to do, and there's loads of reasons why. But typically it could be fear of failure, you could be fearing success, something that I struggle with, weirdly, but that's for another time. Fear of uncertainty, fear of judgment, whatever it is, or maybe you're just so overwhelmed. And I really believe that we can all get ourselves really far just in terms of being consistent, being hardworking, putting the effort in. But at some point, we're just not able to keep the promises that we make to ourselves, because we hit these blocks, because we hit these fears. And that's where the power of accountability is magic, because you were okay with breaking a promise to yourself, but you're not okay with letting yourself down and someone else down. And I wonder, Diandra, maybe you could just explain a little bit about our relationship, because we have a very special relationship. Not only have we been business besties for a year, we've also been like accountability partners for a year. So yeah, do you want to talk about that?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I was actually trying to find out when exactly we met and what started this wonderful relationship that Allison and I have. So I did a little bit of digging today through the Facebook funnel. And what I found is back in November of 2022, we were both on the Extraordinary Life course. So this was organized by the Rebel School, a Rebel Entrepreneur. That's one of my favorite podcasts, and they have such great content. Katie, Alan Donegan, and Simon Payne, shout out to you guys. They created this Extraordinary Life course. And so they had a lot of videos for us to watch. And then they gave us homework. Every week we had homework that we had to attend to, just like school. And so part of our homework was to post in this Facebook group about an area that we wanted to improve, along with a question for other participants. So we wanted to get like these really crazy ideas, and it was like, say yes to everything, a yes and approach. And so, Alison, I'm curious, do you remember what you posted in that group?
No. Oh my God, no, I don't remember.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Okay. You actually like really stepped outside of your comfort zone and you asked a very powerful question about striving for your dream job while being content in any career outcome. And she had talked about her desire to quit her 9 to 5 to become a full-time coach and a content creator. And her struggle was being like too goal focused.
It's still a struggle. Yeah.
I really liked that question that Alison had posted. And so my response in the full rebel spirit, I was like, let me give her something pie in the sky to think about. And it was secretly like something that I was looking to do too, like shifting gradually towards this part-time work and even joining a small business group where she could celebrate these small victories. And I even mentioned that I was looking for others to meet up virtually. So I think it was great. And then so after I'd posted this response, I was like, I'm probably not going to hear anything back. But actually, Alison got that follow through and she reached out to me about this virtual group idea. And it was one that didn't exist yet. But we were the first two to meet, and Alison had found a couple other people. But it ended up shaking out that we had really similar journeys, and we decided to just proceed, just the two of us. So, Alison, I have another question for you. Do you remember there is one call where we were starting to set up these recurring meetings? Do you remember your suggestion for how long we should keep this relationship going?
Oh, maybe it was just like a few months or something. I imagine I didn't want to put too much pressure on you or myself, so I bet I was like, oh, we'll just see how it goes, try it out.
So that would have been a normal human's response. But Alison, she says, I'm going to put up this recurring meeting from now until forever. Oh. And then she just scheduled bi-weekly meetings just indefinitely out. And I was thinking, this is really awesome, or she's really crazy. Turned out she was really awesome.
It must have been the universe channeling in through me. This is going to work. Just don't even overthink it. Just let Google Calendar do the thinking for you.
Yeah. I don't want to cut it. This relationship is just going to keep going and going. And so we have this really awesome relationship, this collaboration, this friendship. And we even put together recently a breast cancer meditation. So Alison is really great. She has this calming voice for meditations. And then I just took my experiences, and that's a wonderful resource that we have for the breast cancer community. So that is what I remember about the beginning of our relationship. And we've just been meeting bi-weekly ever since and pushing each other and saying, what are you doing now? What are you going to do next? And it's really awesome to have that follow-up of someone saying, well, you said you wanted to do this, but in actuality, you didn't do that. And getting down to the why. Was there something that happened, or did your priorities change? So I think that was a great part of our accountability. And it just goes to show that stepping outside of your comfort zone and connecting with like-minded individuals can lead to extraordinary things.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, don't be afraid to turn a stranger off the internet into a friend. And I'm so pleased, and I'm so love that you did that little bit of research, because I would say this is one of the most special and structured relationships of my life. And we both respect each other's time, I think, so much. I don't think we've missed a meeting. If we have, we've rescheduled it or whatever. And it's always, like you say, that care and support for each other's business, as well as being like, hang on a second, are you just getting a little bit scared here? And that's why you haven't reached out to people. really special.
That's awesome. Yeah. I've gotten so much out of this relationship and it just keeps me going, keeps me going. And I know one of the other things that we wanted to talk about, and this is our first Mindset Monday, we wanted to go through what our number one accountability tip would be for you guys. We have such different audiences. We have entrepreneurs, we have cancer survivors. The one that I thought this is the best for our diverse audience is what gets measured gets managed. This has been a game changer for me across various aspects of my life. When you start measuring your efforts, you inevitably start making more progress. So you can take something as simple as hydration. I'm a nutritional scientist by trade, and I like to think about how much water do you drink in a day? That's a great question. But when you get down to it, unless you're tracking it, chances are you're drinking way less than you think you are or than you think you should. And so that's why one of the resources that I have with Cancer-Free Haven is called my Thriver Checklist. And so I have 8 daily actions that have helped me to thrive as a 12-year cancer survivor. And yes, hydration is still one of them. I think the same principle can even apply to business practices. For instance, I am currently in a 6-week daily posting streak on social media. Woo! And before this, Alison can attest, I struggled to post consistently. I would sometimes manage 2 to 3 times a week and say, look, I'm good, I'm happy. But what I did is I started using this Trello board. And so I got to give my shout out to Evelyn Wise with the Coach Growth Hub. Both Allison and I have been a part of this. It's just a small mini membership that we've been getting great business tips for the last year. With this, I had started to visualize my posting schedule. So people had told me, look, just plan it out and it'll be easy. But I'm a visual person and I'm dyslexic. So reading a lot of things does not really work for me. I just had this simple act of measuring my progress, and it helped me to develop this consistent habit. Just about 4 weeks into this method of plotting out what it was going to look like and writing captions, posting daily became second nature to me. So it's all about measuring your actions and seeing that transformation unfold. I hope that's a tip that you guys can take with you to help you become more accountable to yourself.
I love that. Measuring and celebrating as well. That's one thing that we do in part of our relationship. I celebrate your wins and you celebrate mine. That's fab. My top tip is to think about accountability in terms of a continuum of different approaches. So at the lighter touch end, it might be just telling someone that you're going to do something and maybe you follow up with them, maybe you ask them to follow up with you. Maybe, say, for example, you could invite someone to be in the same room as you at the time that you're planning to do the thing that you want to do, whether it's working on your business or whatever it is, and they don't necessarily have to be doing anything as part of that. But the magic really happens in terms of accountability with another person when that other person has a similar goal as you. You might actually work on something at the same time together, your own separate goals, but you're working in the same virtual room or actual room. I host a co-working space, which is online on Zoom every Wednesday, where we do just that. And it's one of the most positive and productive environments. You can also do something asynchronously. So say, for example, if you're reading a particular book and you and another person are reading it at separate times, but you're coming back together to discuss what you think about the book and show that you've done the exercises, because I don't know about you, but I'm really guilty of reading books and then not really doing the exercises and then not really reviewing them. So accountability can be great for that. Then at that more intensive end, that's where you might have a structured relationship, as Diandra and I have explained, where we meet fortnightly and we respect each other's goals and hold each other to account very formally, but also funly. That's my top tip. And I also just wanted to say, the only reason that I'm here now is because of Diandra and her keeping me accountable, because going live is something that I said I wanted to do, but I kept putting it off, kept procrastinating. And then I didn't want to let you down. and you made this so easy and fun for me. And so this live right now is 100% proof that accountability works.
That's wonderful. Yeah, I'd seen Allison. She had done it one time on her own, I think. Just having someone there to guide you through and say, we can do this, it's okay. And I was like, honestly, if a lot of people don't show up, then people won't see it, and that's okay. And we can learn. So take it as a learning process. If you are doing something and you're not really getting that reach in your business, that's the greatest time to test and try different things and just do something crazy because, hey, maybe not many people will see it. And then that's good. But if people do see it, then maybe you'll go viral. It works either way, I think. We can just wrap this up here, respectful of everyone's time. I wanted to say thank you again for joining us on this Mindset Monday. We hope that our insights on accountability help to empower you in your personal and professional lives. And next week, we'll be exploring this topic called resilience in adversity. When we first started talking about doing these live sessions together, that is a concept that Allison really wanted to get across to the entrepreneur world. Me, as a cancer survivor, I launched my first coaching program within a week of my cancer diagnosis. And so I'm at the ultimate low personally, but then professionally, just doing this uptick here. And it was just such an interesting time that I looked at myself and I said, you can pull out now and it'll be okay. But then I also said, but what about the people that I'm letting down? If I don't show up now, I won't know whose lives I could have impacted, but I backed out because of something personally. And so I'm really excited to explore this topic, and I hope that it deeply resonates with both cancer survivors and entrepreneurs, and we'll discuss some strategies to overcome these challenges and stay resilient.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Oh my God. I can't wait till next week. That just you telling that story there, I felt like I definitely wanted to hear more. And just to say as well, thank you, everybody. Really appreciate you joining in. Really looking forward to next week with you. And just to say that if you're struggling at all with your personal health challenges or in business, just know that there is support. You're not alone. And Diandra and I are here for you. And we'll see you next time.